Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me. If you are new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. If you are old to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Today we are doing the final deck from the poll that's been going on for like a month or two. I forget how long it's been, but it's been a little while. So this is the final deck that I've wanted to kind of showcase to you guys, and I always have a lot of fun when I play this style deck. The original kind of deck that I did with this was a tribunal deck, but what am I talking about? I'm talking about, of course, a guard-based deck. So you'll notice here we have a lot of cards that are going to function as guards, and we've got a lot of cards that are going to buff up those guards. I'm going to kind of jump around all over the place with this deck test or with this deck explanation, because our first card is a Knight to Remember, and this is here for one reason. So we have this guy, Théoden, Duke of Mania. Théoden is a very interesting card. He's a 6 cost creature, 6/7 stat line, and his summon effect is that this lane becomes Mania, and Mania uh, it creates this lane where at the start of each player's turn, if they have the creature with the highest health in this lane, they draw a card. So you're essentially drawing 2 cards per turn whenever Théoden procs. Now, this is a double-edged sword because Théoden can give your opponent extra cards as well, but the way that I've built this deck, hopefully that won't be happening. I've done a few tests with this already, and I've had a lot of fun with it, and I've been the only one that's been getting cards from Théoden, so that's been pretty nice. Obviously, some of these cards could be switched for higher defense creatures, but I think that I like the way that it's going so far. So we're going to kind of start off over here with the Ald-Valathi Assassin. Now, the Ald-Valathi Assassin, you might look at this and think it has pretty low health, and it does. It's a 1/2 for 2, and it has Rally and Lethal, but that Rally is very important because the Rally will boost up our other creatures to give them more defense, so that way they can proc that Théoden chain, and just in general will have bigger, beefier creatures. Ald-Valathi is a very, very good card. The Rally is a nice component of it, and the Lethal makes it so that way you can throw this thing down in the field lane on turn 2, and you can kind of just lock that lane down because your opponent will have to play a creature against it in the field lane, and you will always generally be able to kill it. Barrowstalker, so Ald-Valathi and Barrowstalker are like 2 of the best cards in Endurance. They're just so solid. 2 cost 2/3 for Barrowstalker with Drain and Guard. So whereas Ald-Valathi had these 2 keywords, Rally and Lethal, Barrowstalker also has 2 with Drain and Guard. Barrowstalker just helps plug up a lane. Basically, you throw this down early in the game to get a little bit of health gain on your opponent and also to halt their aggro. This is really good against decks that are trying to start getting aggressive early, because if you can stop that sooner, then you won't have to deal with the immediate consequences of those aggressive type decks. Down here, Bruma Armorer, he's a 3 cost 2/2. When you summon another creature, you give it +0/+2. Bruma Armorer is very important because it combos really well with East Empire Crafter, which is a 3 cost 2/4. With the effect of when you summon another creature with 5 health or more, give it +1/+1 and guard. So East Empire Crafter and Bruma Armorer work really well. If we were to throw down a Barrowstalker, the Bruma Armorer, and we had these 2 on board, the Bruma Armorer would give it +2 to its defense, so it would become a 2/5, and then the East Empire Crafter would give it +1/+1, essentially making our Barrowstalkers 3 6s for no real extra cost. These 2 are good creatures to have down. They are easily removable. Execute can affect them pretty heavily, and Lightning Bolt, Edicts, any kind of your normal removal can get rid of them. But if you do happen to get these 2 down at the same time, it is a very, very difficult thing for your opponent to deal with most of the time. So, Dark Guardian is next. He's a 3 cost 2/5 with Guard, and he has the effect of when your opponent draws a prophecy from a rune being destroyed, you draw a card. This card mixed with the Phalanx Exemplar, it does a very similar thing. It's a 5 cost 5/6 Guard, and when your opponent draws a prophecy from a rune being destroyed, you put a 1/2 Septim Guardsman with Guard into your hand. So these 2 creatures will allow us to be a little bit aggressive. And not feel so bad about when our opponent draws a prophecy. If we have 2 of these out at the same time, either 2 Dark Guardians or 2 Phalanx Exemplars or 1 Dark Guardian and 1 Exemplar, we will actually be getting more out of our opponent drawing a prophecy than they will. So that's always something to keep in mind. Dark Guardians also got this really big health pool, which is the biggest that we've seen so far. Um, well, Phalanx Exemplar also has a big health pool, but 5 is going to be really nice because it synergizes with the East Empire Crafter right away, so we don't need to do the Bruma Armorer plus that to get that to work. Okay, Galen the Shelterer is next. He is a 3-cost 3/3, and his summon effect is that you choose a creature or item in your hand, and you shuffle 3 copies of it with +3/+3 into your deck. Galen is an incredible card. He's in almost every single purple deck. This guy is easy in the top echelon of must includes in most purple decks. And he's going to be a no-brainer here as well. Any card that we can immediately give +3/+3 to and shuffle more of is going to be helpful. We could do this with Thaden if we wanted to get um, more uses out of his mania lane. That's the main thing. I don't even know if I mentioned with a Knight to Remember why we want to do it with Thaden, because we can make both lanes mania when we do that. Thaden could be in the shadow lane, and then we do a Knight to Remember and shift him back over into the field lane, and then we have uh, two lanes where we're reigning supreme with the card draw. So it's a really powerful combo. And Galen can help us with that. Galen can buff up our determined suppliers later, which will be really nice. He can buff up just our low-cost creatures like Odd Velathian Barrowstalker or Bruma Armorer if we need more. He's just an all-around amazing card. Okay, up next is the Golden Initiate. Golden Initiate is a 3-cost 3/3 with Prophecy and Drain. Golden Initiate might not be the most interesting card in the whole world, but it is a very consistent card. I really like it. Um, the Prophecy is really propping this card up quite a bit, although a 3/3 for 3 with Drain is not horrible. You really want to be drawing this thing on Prophecy. Um, We've only got 6 prophecies in the deck, so these are going to be doing some heavy lifting for our runes. Should those pop and we get one of these, we'll be very happy to see it. And because it's got that 3 health, our Bruma Armorer can get it up to 5 pretty easily, which can get our East Empire Crafter to get it up to a 4/6 pretty easily as well. Okay, the cool Lawkeeper is up next. He's a 3-cost 1/6, or she is a 3-cost 1/6, my bad, with Rally and Guard. And she's a very cool card because she's just got this massive health pool. We're also running High Hrothgar, which when you summon a creature, its power becomes equal to its health. So we have to get this out on the board first, obviously, but that's going to be very important for a lot of these cards with the very high defense. So if we do have High Hrothgar out, this thing will become a 6/6 instantly. If we have an East Empire Crafter, we'll get it up to a 2/7. Bruma Armorer could make this a 1/8, so on and so forth. So we've got a lot of different ways to buff this up, and this also has Rally just like our Old Velothi Assassin, so she will be buffing up creatures just like the Old Velothi as well, should she get the chance to attack. Okay, Determined Supplier is a 4-cost 1/4 with Guard, and the last gasp effect of gain max magicka equal to Determined Supplier's power. This is why we might want to shuffle more in with Galen. This is why we are going to probably want to rally onto this. Not that we have a choice on what creature we rally onto, but if we're able to kind of work in a scenario where Determined Supplier has a higher likelihood of getting rallied onto, that's what we're going to want to do. And it also synergizes with all the same stuff that our other cards do. Edict of Azura, this is just really good removal. It's unique to Spellsword colors or decks that include Spellsword, so you destroy an enemy creature or support. We are going to try to hold on to some of these for support removal, but a lot of the time they'll probably be used to just take out a creature that's on the board and causing us problems. High Hrothgar we already explained. Next is the Hive Defender with the Alt Art, of course, because the Alt Art Hive Defender is supreme. This is maybe, I don't want to say it's the best guard in the game, but it's one of the most consistent guards in the game. It is a 4-cost 3/6 guard that you can include in almost any willpower deck and get away with it because the high stat line and the decent damage attached to it as well. So this card gets extra value from High Hrothgar, gets extra value from East Empire, extra value from Bruma, yada yada yada. And the interesting thing here with Hive Defender, he's just got guard, and if we go down to our Mehrunes Dagon Seducer, it has the exact same stat line uh, for the same cost too, but it has Breakthrough and Drain. And with the Seducer, if we do have an East Empire Crafter down, we'll gain +1/+1 and Guard to the Mehrunes Dagon Seducer, effectively making this thing a better Hive Defender if the condition allows it. Now, I wanted to run both of these because I like the Hive Defender as a guard, and Mehrunes Dagon Seducer is not always going to be a guard to block us up, but In instances where we do have that opportunity, it's going to be really, really nice to see. Okay, up next is Divine Fervor. So Divine Fervor is a 5 cost support, and it's ongoing. Friendly creatures have +1/+1 is the ongoing effect. It's a pretty good card, and by pretty good I mean very good. However, with Divine Fervor, I always think that it's a little bit overkill to put 3 of these in your deck. Especially we're running 4 supports. That's about all that you need most of the time because you can only hold 4 at one time. And they're not essential to our game plan, so if they do get destroyed, that's fine. I like to just run 2. 3 seems a little bit overkill. Um, yeah, they're going to buff up all of our creatures and get some of these creatures, like our Determined Supplier, will instantly be able to get procced on by the East Empire Crafter if this thing should go off on them. And just it works really well with a lot of our low cost creatures and even buffs up our high cost creatures even better. So Divine Fervor is really nice to have. We already talked about the Phalanx Exemplar. Piercing Javelin comes next. Piercing Javelin has the prophecy effect of just destroying a creature. Or it's not just prophecy, but it's got prophecy, and it's an action that will instantly destroy a creature, provided that it is a creature that can be affected by actions. Piercing Javelin is one of the GOATs. It's been in the game since launch, and it is one of the uh, most consistent ways to kill creatures. So when you proc this thing off of a prophecy, it's really, really nice, but also it's just very, very good to just hold in your hand and wait for your opponent to do something. And I really like it. Shadowfen Priest is a 5 cost 4/4 that's up next on our list, and it has the summon effect of silence another creature or destroy an enemy support. So it's a lot like Edict of Azura. I'm only running 2 of them because we already have 3 edicts for destroying enemy supports. So 5 ways to destroy supports in total in the deck should be really nice. We can also use Shadowfen Priest. We can option him out to do the silence effect as well, which is very, very nice to see. Golden Saint. Golden Saint is a 6 cost 4/4. I really, really wanted to include this in the deck because it is also one of the OGs. So this card has Guard, and the summon effect is that if you have more health than your opponent, you summon a Golden Saint in the other lane. So this is conditional. It's a very good card, but you have to make sure that you have more health than your opponent. Now, as far as drain creatures go in our deck, we have Golden Initiate and we have Mehrunes Dagon's Seducer. We don't really have that many ways to gain health. But with the way our deck is built, oh, and Barrowstalker, but with the way that our deck is built, we should not really be taking that much damage in the first place. And any damage that we do take should be easily repairable. So Golden Saint should be proccing most of the time. We'll never really want to play this thing as a 6 cost 4/4. We'll want to play it with the extra effect, which again should be happening all the time. Okay, skipping Thaden because we talked about him. The Mechanical Heart is up next. This is a 6 cost support. It's ongoing, and when you have 0 or less health, you sacrifice the Mechanical Heart, you set your health to 10, and you restore a rune. This is just an extra layer of defense. We're going to be a very turtley kind of deck. We are not really going to want to initiate attacking with our opponent unless we, have an advantage, and we'll be able to do that because we've got so many guards and ways to gain health back. And the Mechanical Heart again is just kind of this last resort thing that we can always have looming on our opponent, that even if they do kill us, we'll at least get our health kind of reset, which is very nice. The next card is Nahag Leave. Nahag Leave is a unique dragon. He's a 7/7 for 7 with guard, and he's just pretty cool. Your opponent can't target Nahag Leave with actions. So Piercing Javelin, Edict of Azura, that cannot affect Nahag Leave. Now, Nahag Leave can be affected by stuff like Shadowfen Priest with summon effects. Anything that's a summon effect can still get him, and there are a lot of summon effects in the game. I think Nahag Leave overall has probably gotten worse as the game has gone on because there's so many different ways to interact with creatures and the board now through summon effects. But I digress. Nahag Leave is still very cool. A lot of people still don't understand how this effect of not being targeted with actions works, so you can usually confuse people a little bit when you put this down. And finally, I run 1 Dark Seducer at the end here. It's got Drain and Guard, and it's a 7/7 for 8. Dark Seducer drains on both turns. Essentially, what this means is that if your opponent hits Dark Seducer will gain you health, even though it's not your turn. So, pretty cool card. I really didn't feel the need to include more than 1. I could have traded out maybe, I don't know, a cool Lawkeeper to do another Dark Seducer. If you're the type of player that likes to have a very heavy, uh, what am I trying to say? A very heavy high end, um, then maybe that's a kind of move that you could make if you decide to play this on your own. I felt like the consistency of having more threes was good, but I don't know. I could see a world where two Dark Seducers is good, but we've also always got the option to Galen in more of them. Should we think that that's something that we need to do? So, with all of that out of the way, that is the list, and I'm hoping to showcase it in hopefully a positive manner. I don't know if you guys saw my community post, but basically I'm working on a lot of projects right now for the channel. Don't tell anybody, but this is the second day off I've taken from work to kind of crack down and work on some stuff for the channel. So I'm very excited going forward. I've got plans to make a few kind of fun videos, and then this video is going to be a Legends based thing, doing a few explanation videos. So um, just keep an eye out for the channel in the coming weeks, and there should be some stuff coming out pretty soon. Thank you guys for your continued support, and I will catch you guys on the other side. Okay, we're up against Soy Boy, the Mastermind. They are on Dagoth, and Soy Boy has a 75 card Dagoth deck, which I can respect. Double East Empire Crafter I think is cool, so I'll hold on to it. Now, the one thing that this deck doesn't have is mass removal. So we don't have like Dawn's Wrath, or we don't have access to Ice Storm. I could have put Immolating Blast in here. That could have been a good idea, but hey, Arcanium Librarian, let's go. We're going to get down an early East Empire Crafter. And then I'm going to try to do the Mehrunes Dagon Seducer.
My Arcanium, my rules.
Okay, unfortunately we have to kill this guy. I'm going to say sorry. But yeah, we'll get the Mehrunes Dagon Seducer down. We'll get the 4/7 stat line with Guard, Breakthrough, and Drain, which is pretty insane. And he's going to play an immediate Red Mountain, so I'm going to challenge that Red Mountain with my Shadowfen Priest. We've just gotten really lucky so far in this match. That's all that I can really say. At the end of the day, Legends is a game of RNG, and he's got two of them. Nice. I would like to play a little bit more defensively than I have been, but also I think getting some of this stuff down early is going to be good. I'm not going to attack him because he's got 6 cards and I've only got 3. Berserker of the Pale and a Hand of Dagoth. Yeah, that's rough. We're kind of a little bit more equal with him now. I think we can... Okay, he's just going to quit. He's just going to leave. Interesting. Well, good game. I didn't feel like that was hopeless, but I was not looking at the cards from his end of things, so there we go. Okay, we're up against Nat James, the Defiant, after a very, very strange Dagoth match that lasted about 2 minutes in total, I would have to imagine. Okay. We don't have the ring, so we want to have creatures with lower stat requirements. Bruma Armorer could be good here. Nat James is the Defiant on a 75 card Empire deck. Bruma Armorer could be good. It's kind of high chances that he's got something to play against this. Théoden is kind of a whole part of the deck, so I'll keep him. And the Mehrunes Dagon Seducer is good to see for the high health total that can combo with Théoden. We also got a Night to Remember with Théoden, so that's pretty cool. And this is the type of stuff that I was thinking we'd run into. So he'll likely have a lot of token type cards to match up against our Bruma Armorer. Okay. Odd. Yeah, I guess I'll get the Armorer down right away. If he does attack with this thing, it'll be shackled, so I think the right move is that he doesn't attack with that right now, and he waits a little bit. Midnight Sweep. Wow, he is going pretty hard with all these creatures.
For Dareloth. Into the breach.
Yeah, and he actually did not do anything there, so that was good. Barrowstalker with a 2/5 stat line could actually block up this lane pretty effectively. And that doesn't really open me up for a whole lot of things going forward. I think I like this play. I think I like this play over here actually. So we'll do that and just sacrifice our own Bruma Armorer, not giving this thing the opportunity to get any value.
What do you want?
Ooh, annoying.
Okay, fine. Let's go.
Dareloth. I hear and obey.
Annoying, annoying, annoying. The cool Lawkeeper would be cool to see. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're getting a little bit overwhelmed here. I could throw down another Seducer. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I think getting Barrow and Cooldown is good. I want to be playing away from this lethal creature for the time being. If he just smashes that into my Mehrunes Dagon Flayer, I'll be happy. Or, no, Mehrunes Dagon Seducer. Okay, and then we've got the Piercing Javelin for whatever got that Mega buff. So it's actually not the right time to play Thaden because he just buffed something up like crazy. I will do East Empire Crafter, and I'll play a Barrowstalker over here. So we're getting closer. Eventually his deck is going to run out of steam. General Tullius, though. That's annoying to see. This guy's just got something for everything. Yep. Okay. There's the Mechanical Heart. I think Divine Fervor is pretty good here. I'm not going to get any value out of my East Empire Crafter, unfortunately, but I think...
Die like a dog.
The problem is, if I kill this, his Tullius becomes a 5/5, and then he just kills this. So we'll just sit and wait. Wait for him to do something. I guess he had that option as well. He's going to opt to kill everything and get a 7/7 for it. Oh, and that's so annoying. Because he's got that now. Ah!
I won't fail in my duty.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah. I'm gonna do the Mehrunes Dagon Seducer. I'm gonna kill this thing. I know this is gonna become an 8/8, but it's still better than a 9/9. And Piercing Javelin will have to kill this guy. We do have the Mechanical Heart as well.
Bow to these provincial militia.
Clivia. Oh, that's good. Like to see that. Yeah, throw her over here.
Long live the Empire.
Okay. He's going to generate a few little token creatures for us to clean up. But that I do not mind. So we'll do this. Killing his Tullius. Hopefully, once and for all, if he has any kind of effect to bring that back, I will be seething. Yeah, Dark Guardian over here. Seems good, because we're going to have to fight against Clivia pretty hard. And then we can get the Mechanical Heart down. Nothing can be easy, though, today, apparently. Oh. Oh, God. Okay. There goes one of our Drain creatures. I thought he was going to give that buff to Clivia, but Wow, he's going to use a piercing javelin on that. That's interesting. Would now be a good time to lay down Thaden? I don't think so. Not yet. Okay. If he wants to come and get me, I'm gonna challenge him in this lane. If he wants to do a big dumb Dawn's Wrath, then go for it. But I'm gonna put it in this lane so that way he's forced to kill his Clivia, because I don't like that this thing's generating a billion creatures. He's got his own Bruma Armorer. Kill that. Imperial Reinforcements. God damn it. This actually doesn't really stop much, but it is very annoying. I'll give him that. Super annoying. Okay. I can play a Shadowfen Priest on... I think I want it on this, actually. Then the Mechanical Heart needs to go down because he's got a lot going on that I don't like. Kill this first. And then this. We're kind of stabilizing a little bit. If he's got an Edict, which he should, then that'll be aimed right for this, if he's smart. And there's Imperial Might. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of creatures, but he's run out of cards now, and I have not. So I think this is going to be good moving forward. Plus, he doesn't have Clivia anymore, which is super annoying to have to deal with. Yeah, we'll do that. And I will continue killing off his little critters. Do that. I'll play Thaden in the Shadow lane at first. And then I'll swap him over to the field lane. Whew, okay. Game is not over yet, though. This is, we are fighting for our lives. The game plan of don't take damage, not really been working out today. Shaden Hall Sapper. Eh, it's not that good of a card. Okay. Now we're going to be drawing an extra card and the Phalanx. Okay, this is good. This is good. Because now we can do this. And this. Okay. This is how it's supposed to work. This is the impregnable wall. Should not be able to be affected very easily, at least. It's just going to end his turn. So we're going to draw 1, 2, and then 3. Perfect. Do that. I will hit him for 5. Okay, then I'll hit him for 7. Then I'll hit him for 3. And we will just have to wait to see what he does. I'm going to do another Bruma Armorer. And then I'm going to wait. I could have done an Ald Valathi as well. That would have gotten guard over here, but I've got a feeling that he's got like Dawn's Wrath waiting for us. Or something. Okay, finish off. And strategic deployment. So this is a good example of how guards can halt aggression. It took us a while, but we were able to stabilize eventually, and he did just gain a lot of health, but we've got, I think, more than enough damage to deal with him. We've got 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24. Am I doing my math correct? That felt correct. What the? Am I doing my math correctly? 24. Yep. So let's just kind of hit away at him.
Die like a
Two. Boom. Boom.
Now
Okay.
you've upset me.
Well
Good game.
fought.
Oh my god. What a match. We are up against Wooderman 1212, the founder. They're on Strength, Willpower, Endurance, which equals Rhetorun, and they've got a 75 card Rhetorun deck. This is all kind of garbage. I'm going to throw that back. Oh god. The 1 8 cost creature we have in the deck shows up on turn 1. Okay. Glad that we have something to stop the Serethi Scion, because honestly, Serethi Scion is a lot better than people give it credit for. Just a 1/1 for 1 with Rally. If you get it on turn 1 and your opponent doesn't have an answer to it, then it's going to be a thorn in your side.
My family has endured enough.
I'm hoping that I can rally onto the Golden Saint. Wow. He's going to use a whole Fear Totem for that.
There's only so much that
But this is what I'm talking about. Like, if I can't get rid of this thing, he's just going to continue buffing stuff with it for the rest of the match. Wooderman 1212.
my family has endured enough.
Yeah, that's tough to see. That is tough to see. Huh.
Should have been more worthy.
Well, we'll see what we get the rally on. I got it on the Determined Supplier, actually. So that's pretty cool.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah, I'll do that. 2/7 guard. Block stuff up. And then we can do the Shadowfen Priest to follow up, and I think I'm going to silence the blade.
And now for a practical demonstration.
Never mind.
Here's how it's done.
So we're going to be dealing with a lot of rallies, it looks like. And now my Golden Saints can't proc because he was able to get the kill. And let's see what else he's got for us.
Destined for
Ah, perfect. Perfect. Okay. This is actually a pretty good combo. The East Empire Crafter
taste
plus the Golden Initiate.
Should have been more worthy.
Let's see what I rally onto. We get the Golden Saint.
Speak,
Not helpful.
citizen.
So now we've got a 4/6 guard, which can be killed by this, I should note, but that's okay. I'm hoping to just get Dark Seducer down next turn and stop whatever he's on about. Okay, we got rid of the Serethi Scion as well, which is super nice. That's dead. He gains some health. I wonder if he does kill that. And if he doesn't get ward or lethal,
Do not ignore
then we can
Captain's
take
warning.
that out pretty easily. Of course, he rolls a rally in his Rhetorun deck, and he has broken his last rune. So we'll see what he's playing.
Welcome to House
He's playing a
Wooderman.
Scar Drillmaster. Yeah, not for long, buddy. I cannot allow that to be on the field. This thing got 2 rallies onto it. Yeah, so can't really let that happen. Goodbye.
Like a dog. Should have been more
We'll
worthy.
see what we rally onto. It's the Dark Seducer.
Citizen.
Okay. A rough first few rounds, but our opponent no longer has any ring charges, and we have a better board than he does.
Observe my technique.
The Warclaws.
Warclaw Mercenary.
This one offers assistance.
This one's going to be annoying. He's only got 1 card. Is that going to be some kind of removal?
Should have been more worthy. Ita Oreo. Die
Boom. I'll put the 5/5 over here actually, because I think that he's got a like a piercing javelin or something. Just feels like that's coming. So I don't know. I'm gonna put my more valuable guard over here. That way, if he has to kill one of them with a piercing javelin, it'll be the weaker one that's blocking him. Yeah, Edict of Azura, same thing. And then probably boom, boom. But then I can just hit him with the Ald
The
Volati.
coast is clear.
So that works. That'll work
Should have been
itself
more
out. Yeah, we'll do that. And I'll hit him with the... I'll hit him with this. I don't really want to do too much damage to him. Lay down the Barrow Stalker. Then I'll wait. He's got the Felled and Mighty. I had a feeling he had something, and that's why I don't want to play this Seducer quite yet. Okay. Phalanx, Exemplar, Rally, boom, boom, boom. We'll see if he can stop us now. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy to really be running a lot of guards. He seems... Oh, wow. Nice. He seems more aggressive, but then again, he's got the Mechanical Heart, so that's cool. He's also got a Fear Totem, which I totally forgot about. And we know that he's not on Singleton because of the double Serethi Scions. We'll do that. And now that his heart is gone, we'll do that. And Aaron's Dagon. And then we'll wait. We do have quite a bit of presence on the board. I don't know how he would really be able to stop me at this point. He'd need the red year.
A clash for the ages.
Yes. Good game.
Well fought. I slay the unworthy.
Oh, nice. I like that. That was a good one. Still not enough, though. He's at 0 magicka. I thought he was just going to leave me there. Does he have something? Okay. Do you have any more? Okay, he's just going to leave. Nice. All right, we're up against the Nord Guest. They are the pastry chef. They're on Battle Mage. I feel like I haven't seen Battle Mage in a little bit. This opening hand is not my favorite, but I like getting High Hrothgar earlier in the match. Nahagleave is annoying to see. We also don't have the ring again, so that's cool. Yeah, we'll just have to see what our Nord Guest is doing. They've got 50 cards. I had to sneeze, sorry. Still nothing good going on. Nothing good at all. Skeevers. Wow. He's on a Battle Mage Skeever list. I like it. We'll try to contest this. I like my own skeever list. I play that uh, in Warrior because you get access to the Mushroom Tower.
I feel a storm coming.
He's kind of popping his combo off immediately though, and that's a little bit scary. Just a tad bit. So we want to get a body on the board. Our Bruma armor is going to die, so there's no real need contesting this when we could at least contest his one skeever over here.
Be on your guard.
Okay, daggers in the dark. Nice. Oh, and he's going to firebolt that, so never mind.
Hand over the coin.
This is going to be one of those scenarios, though, where I think we're going to have to start guarding, and we're going to have to halt the aggro as soon as we can. I actually don't even want to hit him because I want him to break more of my runes at this point. So I'm not going to hit him with the drain. I would like him to suffer from being so aggressive. Slaughterfish. Interesting. This is still fine. Barrow Stalker. I think Bruma Armorer Barrow Stalker.
Smell the stench of the living.
Because that'll clog this lane up, and we can deal with this unless he's got another Firebolt. And at this point, he's got so much damage on board. I am going to hit him just to gain a little bit of my health back because he'll still be able to probably get me down to 15. He's got another Daggers in the Dark. This guy is not messing around. And Winter's Grasp. Holy shit. Yep. Wow. Like I said, not messing around. So now we should be good though. Like so. These gain +2 every turn, so neither of them can kill my guards off.
Your destruction is at hand.
Yep. And now we're just going to have to turtle for a little bit. So High Hrothgar, Determined Supplier seems like a good play here. We can get some immediate value from that. 6/6 Determined Supplier is always nice to see. And honestly, this guy, if he's got any sense about him, he'll probably just concede at this point. Crushing Blow. Although, I mean, it's not out of the question for him. Wow, that's crazy that actually hit me in the face. It's not out of the question for him to stay in this if he's got a lot of cards that have reach. But yeah, we're not going to hit him. We're going to wait to do a massive burst damage with our Drain creature here. Yeah, he's definitely still got a chance if I don't hit him. But I am going to hit him. And we actually have enough to kill him now, so good game. Oh, he does have a card. He is playing some kind of Prophecy Battle Mage apparently, but it's not really going to matter. So yeah, GG. Works pretty well against aggro if you can get the right guards at the right time. Okay, we're up against Hulksaz, and they are on Spell Sword as well, so it's a Spell Sword mirror of sorts. This person is the Agent of the Throne, and they are on a 71 card deck, which is interesting to see. I really hate this opening hand. We again do not have the ring, so we're going to have to just hope that we can put up a decent fight. Ald-Valathi will begin in the field lane like usual. And immediately gets executed. Cool. We're just going to have to wait to put down Hive Defender and then maybe buff it up with Divine Fervor or play the Phalanx Exemplar. We'll really have to see what our opponent is doing. Looks like my opponent is on something similar to what I'm on. I didn't feel the need to include the Mentor of the Watch because most of my cards already have guard, and the ones that don't really need it, but they can get it from the armor combo. So Hive Defender will be played against the Mentor of the Watch. And with 70, what was it, 71 cards that they had, I think that's kind of excessive for this kind of a deck. So maybe they've got something else going on. I'll lay down the Phalanx Exemplar as well. I don't want him to get more health than me just by being able to hit my face and reduce my total, because I would like the Golden Saint to proc off. I'm okay with that actually, because Phalanx Exemplars aren't the biggest part of my game plan. And that'll still allow us to have more health than our opponent, so there's the Golden Saint getting laid down. And I actually am worried about Théoden this game, because I'm facing off against an opponent that could potentially rival... Yeah, see? Could potentially rival my my health gain, or my health total. Big defensive creatures. We'll use a Javelin on that, simply because edicts are more versatile. And what do we want to do here? Do we want to hit him? I'll hit him. This way, if he's got like a moose or something, he won't be able to get the full value from it. He's playing dragons. I should have realized that when I saw the Spine of Elder's Blood, but I thought that it might have just been a very basic Magicka gaining card for his deck. But it doesn't seem like it. It seems like he's playing Dragon Spellsword with a bunch of extra stuff. Okay, Divine Fervor does take care of this, which we do want to take that thing out earlier in the match. And the cool Lawkeeper will become a 2/7, which will help us finish off his Spine of Elder's Blood over here. So he likely kills my Golden Saint. I don't really need to attack with it right now. It's more so just to keep him off of me. Okay, he's going to execute that, so there goes that plan. And again, we'll see what he does about this. Another cliffside lookout. We are going to want to hold on to the Edict in our hand for when he plays his big dragons. He gave something guard in his hand just now, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Divine Fervor. Both of these are going to die anyway, so we'll attack with them. And we'll do that. And we'll do that. And we'll just hope that it's not Odahviing. If it is Odahviing, that sucks, but we do have a health total advantage on him. It's Odahviing. Okay. Yep. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Piercing Javelin. So now we no longer have to deal with that, though. And if he would like to hit me, that's fine. Fallen Dragon. It's a silly card. And Nahagleave can help us quite a bit over there. So that's going to be the idea. Play Nahagleave and Barrow. All of my cards should be out of execute range now, so he will just have a dead execute draw in his hand at some point. If he's playing all three, which, given the fact that he's got so many, he should be. Wow. Okay. Probably boom, boom. Yeah, because this This Cliffside Lookout is actually a pretty good card. Thankfully, we got the
Favor me.
Piercing Javelin there. Yeah, Fortune favor me. So we're gonna do Thaden. I should have done Bruma Armorer first. Yeah, we're gonna do Bruma Dark Guardian. I'm not even gonna hit him. Hopefully he has no Dawn's Wrath. He's got Vivek though. That's pretty funny. I love that line, the darkness as I have written.
For a midnight stroll.
I will hit him, do that, boom, then we'll wait. He's gonna have to match 8 health. He's got fucking Parthenax. Oh god, dude.
Lead me into battle.
I hope he got 3 Call of Valors. Okay. He didn't get Soul Tear. That's the important thing. And how much do I have? 10. Got 15 damage. Yeah, that could be worth it.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
He's actually gonna, this motherfucker's gonna have more,
Your death is my command.
uh,
I stand to serve.
well, hold on.
I'll do what I can.
Okay, we matched it with the 9 there.
Now you've upset.
Yeah, I'll hit him.
Oh, now you've upset me.
And, that may have been the incorrect call because he's got guards, so that's gonna cuck us a little bit. That was only his first Piercing Javelin as well. Oh, Parthenax. He's having a hard time figuring out where to put stuff, so he's either working out some complex way to block the board up. Okay. Cool. Okay, cool.
Well
Good
fought.
game. Glad that's over. I cannot stand these kind of decks. Okay, we're up against the Dong Stomper 69, the Adorable. However funny and adorable they may be with their name and their title, they are on Telvanni, and they are on a 77 card Telvanni deck, so this could be extremely irritating to play against. We'll just have to find out. So far, we've got a good hand. I think we'll play... I mean, Ald-Valathi Field Lane is usually a good call. We do have the ring this game as well. Sanctuary Pet. Yeah, I don't mind that. Especially now that we have another Ald-Valathi, I'm just going to get my East Empire Crafter set up to prepare for the Mehrunes Dagon. And there is a... Well, I was going to say a 0 value Silt Strider, but he did do something with it. Mountain Lion
Over here. This way.
and Hidden Trail. Wow. Very odd. Very, very odd thing we're going up against. We'll gain a bit of health and
I stand to serve.
lay down this, so we'll get a, what, a 6-4? Or, no, 3-6, sorry. Wild Boar can't gain cover. That's a pretty funny thing to include in your hidden trail deck.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll lay down the Ald Velothi as well.
Your
I'll
death is my command.
I'll hit him. I've got 2 piercing javelins, so I'm not too afraid of what he could play. Weakness. Very interesting deck that my opponent has built here. There's another wild boar.
Should have been more.
I'm actually not gonna bother with
I
Golden
smell
Saint at the moment.
stench of the living.
If he's got another weakness, he can take that out. Wow. Cool. Cool. Okay. Phalanx will go over here then. It's a 5/8.
Your death is my command.
Kill that. And kill that. Then we'll have a 6/6 Golden Saint and a 4/4 Golden Saint going down soon. Slinking Jackal. It's a good card. Yeah, I actually I like what my opponent has done here. I'm
They'll never get the best of us.
little bit impressed by this deck. I think it's very creative. And it's a lot of fun. Great Wood Elder. Nice.
Chimera, spirit of the sky, guide us.
Keep the Phalanx Exemplar on board because it's kind of important. And I will get rid of Hidden Trail. I don't really want to. This guy seems like he's playing something fun, and I would like to keep that on the board, but also this thing's got this this health gain going on, and oh, okay, he's also running the Gnarl Rootbender. This thing's considered a Spriggan. I didn't know that. Do that. He will gain a card if I use Piercing Javelin on that. So I won't. I'll wait and see if he's got a card to play on that. Summon a random animal. He gets the Crocodile Brute. Okay.
Die like a dog.
They'll never get the best of us.
Yeah, you know what? Dong Stomper 69, you get a thumbs up from me for this deck. I think this looks like a lot of fun. He is going to have like a giant bat or something to charge into me. That could be it right there. It's the Tusked Bristleback. Okay. Yeah, good game.
A fine display.
Yeah, for real.
Well fought.
GG. Okay, we're up against Boldgrim, the Thume Master. That's very worrying and upsetting as someone who absolutely hates playing against shouts. We do have the ring. I'm going to throw the Piercing Javelin back, but I'm going to keep the Edict of Azura because there are worse things that we could draw, like Nahag Leave, which we drew anyway. Maybe that'll be okay. The Great Moot Squire. Okay. Very exhilarating gameplay so far.
your command.
Oh, okay, wow.
Fall on my back.
He's here. Yeah, Ald Velothi seems like a good move here. Dark Guardian would block the damage that we're taking, but
At
it
your
wouldn't kill
command.
any of these right away. Ah, yeah. You're the Thum Master, alright. Yes, sir. Martin Septum. Martin Septum and Martin Septum. What? Okay,
I stand to
I'll
serve.
do a Bruma Armorer. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit shitty with the Thum Master title, but I was fully expecting him to be putting a Parthenax and Alduin in there because that's what everybody usually does. So I was proven wrong.
Is my command.
I have no idea what he's doing. I will put a Dark Guardian over here. Good old 2/7 Dark Guardian.
The hist heals and rejuvenates. Can heal or harm.
The double distiller is not cool.
Is my command.
We're going to actually use a piercing javelin on one of them. Don't really want him gaining magicka on me. There is a Spine of Elder's Blood. I think I'm actually okay with playing Thaden. I'm gonna hit him.
Death is my command.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with playing Thaden. We'll get this started now. So we're gonna unfortunately be playing a lot in the shadow lane because of that, and I'm not really a big shadow lane Andy kind of guy, but I mean he started it. He started it with this spine. So he's only got one magicka, so we're gonna be able to do that. Cool, cool. I will hit him. And what do we want to do now? Edict of Azura could be good, just to take out the Dova of the Voice. I do like Dank Guardian here, and the Mehrunes Seducer. I do kind of like this over here as well. I'm going to hit him, and we will move on with our lives. He's going to have to match 8 defense on a card in the shadow lane, or he's going to have to... that actually doesn't do anything. To Thaden,
I'll
at
do what I
least.
can.
The hist shall heal you.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Don't mute Thaden. It doesn't work.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, they acknowledge that. Okay.
Death is my command.
Boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. We actually procced onto our determined supplier, so that's cool.
I'll do what I can.
I'll put him over here. Just make this lane very, very unpleasant. He does have 2 Martin Septums in his discard pile, which we need to be cognizant of. There's one of them. I will say there's easier ways to get Martin Septum to become the avatar of Akatosh. Another... Are you going to put more in there? Okay, this is kind of funny. Yeah, I think there's a lot easier ways to do this.
No man
And
can
he's not even
much
going to
less
play in the Mania lane with that. That's interesting. Hi Hrothgar.
Your death
Goes
is my
down for
command.
sure.
Your death is my
You
command.
took a wrong turn.
Rally.
Oh, now you've upset
Your
me.
death
That,
is my
that. We will have to see if I should have done the Phalanx Exemplar. We'll have to see if he's got some kind of answer for any of this. Or if he just rests his turn. Spine.
I have the marsh in my
Yeah, well, I don't really think that he's got anything. He could pull a Tree Minder as a guard, but or City Guard, I guess.
Nobody breaks the law on my
He's
Okay.
I guess, yeah, it didn't matter where he put it. I would say good game. It was kind of one-sided, though. That was very, I feel like that was a very convoluted way to try to get the avatar of Akatosh. So, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I was getting pretty tilted at the end of the last match, so that's why I just wanted to end it there, because this game has a tendency to piss me off. So, I like this deck. I think that there's definitely a lot of cards that I could have added that would have made it better. It works probably better as a tribunal deck because you can add stuff like, let's go here really quick, just for this quick little showcase of why this deck is better in tribunal. So you add Archkin and Sarioni, and then you can start stacking stuff like Tavar and Ravat. You can add the Emperor's Blade if you want, I guess, at this point. But you get access to stuff like Sorcerer's Negation, better guards too in blue, such as the Piercing Twilight. And then you can add the Daggerfall Mage and Wardcrafter because Ward and Guard synergize really well. But at this point, I felt like I was just making my Tel'Vos Magister is also really good here. And what else? You could add Evermore Steward if you wanted to, but yeah, you guys get the point. At this point, though, I felt like I was just essentially making my Falling Wizard deck, but without the Falling Wizard. And I wanted to make it something a little bit more unique and memorable. But with that said, it's not as powerful as some of the other cards that you could have access to if you were to add blue into the mix. Another thing that you could do is Harpies. You could add Shrieking Harpies, and then I usually just like to do, if I'm looking for like 2 cards at the end, uniques, Thorana and Ancana would do pretty well here. So this could be the Impregnable Wall 3, but I don't know. I wanted to play Spellsword, and I think that's maybe the last time I will ever play Spellsword because it was very irritating at some points. So don't just throw guards into your deck expecting everything to work out okay, because your opponents might be playing something that you didn't expect. Anyway, I've rambled on for quite a bit. I am excited for a lot of the new stuff that's going to be coming to the channel in the next few weeks. Again, I took today off of work to record this, so I'm going to be editing it, and hopefully I'll be able to get it out today. Just to kind of fill the channel with something, and then we can move on from the poll and on to other stuff. I do have more ideas for decks that I would like to do in the future. And yeah, with all that said, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much, and peace out.